What's it like in NRL circles with contracts? Because obviously with AFL, they say it's ongoing and we never announce anything until the contract's over or it's at the end of the season. Whereas the NRL, which I love, I think it's the best thing, one of the best things about the NRL, is so transparent about players where they, might be going to the club next year or they're on the move or people, like it's very open and honest, the contract discussions. Is it a bit more, impetus to get things done in NRL circles?
You said the word honest and transparent, and it doesn't happen all the time, unfortunately. So that's where frustrators kind of get annoyed because they're thinking to themselves, well, I've got this long with my contract, but then out of nowhere, the goalposts change and the club will come and tap you on the shoulder and be like, well, listen, you're free to look at other clubs, but then you're like, hey, hang on a second, but I'm still contracted. Why would I be looking elsewhere? I want to be here. I want to play here. And a similar situation happened to me when I was at Penrith after the 2020 grand final, and it was only a couple of days where I had that conversation with Ivan and Matt Cameron, who was the general manager at the time. And it was a hard pill to swallow because I was at the club for so long and I didn't really envision my kind of exit to be like that. And it was a very, emotions were high. We just lost the grand final. And I also could feel something special brewing around the club. And it was always something I envisioned because, if I had my choice, I'd retire as a one-club player. That's the honest truth. And, it's a very delicate conversation, but it's a hard one to navigate, especially for Parramatta, because they haven't been really renowned to have a very strong hierarchy and development and recruitment. I guess has kind of come under the spotlight in recent times. But it's a hard conversation, but these conversations need to be had, and whatever direction they go by, they've got to stick with it.
What clubs then, in your mind, obviously you said they don't have a strong hierarchy, so obviously people like the Storm, who again just continue to deliver. Like, what's the difference between those clubs and the bottom clubs like the Eels and the Tigers that just can't get things done?
It comes to a culture. And what does culture look like? It's like certain standards you live by day in, day out, and it's not abided by only the players. Like, everyone's got to live by those standards. If you're a staff member, if you're a GM, if you're a CEO, because everyone's got to judge you by what actions you actually show to the individual or to a team. And saying that, if you've got a strong hierarchy, if you've got a strong kind of backroom staff, and if they're leading by those examples week in, week out, if they're honest and transparent, and that's all you can ask for as a player, because as a player, you want to go out there, perform on the training paddock, perform on the footy pitch, and ultimately win football games and be successful. You don't want to have to worry about all the other stuff in the background, like, am I looking over my shoulder thinking, am I going to be dropped this week, and am I going to be shopped around to other clubs? Am I going to be staying here for my full term of my contract? Players don't want to think that. They just want to think about footy, and that's it.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.